G'day guys, Sammy Gordon here from Australian Property Scout. I'm here for your Wise Wednesdays and your hot tip of the week. This week's hot tip, we're on to part 3 of the 3-part series of the mindset of a successful investor. And we're at what you call, or what I like to call, the snowball effect, right? So when the portfolio has picked up its steam and it's kept going, kept moving on and really taken off. Now, this is the part I love, right? This is where you've either made a lot of money or you're making a lot of money as it's going through you might be going through very strong capital growth. You've set up a few nice cash flow properties and you're seeing everything out. This is the part where, again, a lot of people can get sidetracked by the success of what they're doing. And this is where you've got to keep a level head and make really smart decisions to round the portfolio out. Because when you're at this point, you're at the point where you can really bank some serious coin and create that real long-term wealth, right? And solidify it so it can never really be taken off you. And one of the things that I always like to talk about is the exit strategy within a portfolio. And you should have created that in the game plan. So when you've created that in the game plan, you've kind of gotten to that point. So when it's snowballing and when it has snowballed and the markets start to peak, that's where we get to the point where we look and what are we doing here? Are we selling off? And if the part of the game plan was to sell some properties, to reduce some debt on the cash flow side of the portfolio, do it for those reasons, right? Don't go and sell it off. I've just made 300 grand or 500 grand on a property that's just doubled in value. I'm not going to go sell it and then go buy myself a Ferrari, right? That's just stupid. It's mad. It's a good idea, but don't do it because the whole idea of the portfolio was to get you to this point. Right, so execute the deal and finish off the snowball effect the way it should have been finished off with the portfolio. So at that point, you'd be looking to sell the properties off and go and reduce the debt on the cash flow deals. Now, the idea of this is it will allow you to hit that passive income target that you always wanted to hit and that you set out from the very start. It's one of these things that a lot of people, and I saw it off the back of the Sydney boom. A lot of people did really well off the back of the Sydney boom, and they sold properties or they leveraged and they pulled all the cash out and they put it into something stupid instead of sticking to the game plan of what they should have done. Now, sticking to the game plan and rounding out the portfolio the way it should have been done, this will set you up for life. I'm not kidding you. This is what I kind of started planning out around about 24, 25 when I really realized that I need to have a game plan and create a strategy around it. I finished and rounded out my portfolio around about that 28 mark, and I sold off property. It set me up with 2 others really well. Really, that's how I hit the passive income target. And I did it because I knew I needed, when a certain property in my portfolio, this was a game plan, when a certain property in my portfolio had doubled, which it did, I sold it off and I actioned that game plan and I rounded out those 2 properties. And that's where I replaced the income, by doing deals like that. So I think it's really important. Don't get sidetracked. Try and stick to, I know this is probably, like it's a big, fantastic point in the portfolio to get to, but just, I'm trying to cover off on the whole thing here. Try and stick to the strategy. Try and stick to the game plan. Don't get carried away by the small wins. When the portfolio does a little jump and you might get 20 or 30% growth, if you have 3 or 4 properties, that could be 150, 200 grand that you might make in a year off that sort of growth. Could be more. Don't get trigger happy and go and selling. Carry the portfolio out. Let the snowball effect do its thing. And I guarantee you guys, by the time you get to the end of that point, you're going to be pretty happy. You're going to have built a good portfolio, nice low debt position, nice low LVR, and you'll be sitting pretty at that point. And I hope you look back on these videos and come like and comment this video in 5 years when that happens, all right? All right, guys. That's it to round out the mindset of a successful investor. If you've got any questions, if you've got any feedback, please feel free to drop some comments or send me a direct message. Otherwise, thank you, and I'll see you again next week for another Wise Wednesday Hot Tip of the Week.